I think I'm completely optimistic. I'm an incurable optimist because I think people, when they get together to solve these problems, in the end will do much more good than bad. That is very much national politics. I'm used to a situation living in America where I have a choice of commercial providers. One of them has fiber optic going into my house that situation works for me. Other countries, people may be free to decide that the government should become an internet service provider, but and that may be a choice that individual cultures will want to make. But I must say I like the system in which there is commercial competition and multiple, so I have a choice of who puts that fiber optic into my house, or maybe I can even have two. I think we will have a whole lot more interactivity. At the moment, the things you can do with web applications as a programmer are fun, but obviously they can go a whole lot further. I think when we have an open web of linked data which web applications can feed from, then they will be very powerful. I can think you can expect to see very powerful visualizations of data using even more computer power than you have at the moment. I can imagine that soon, almost you will be able to afford to fill every pixel of every part of your room with pixels. Imagine how that will change the user interface, because pixels are getting cheaper and cheaper all the time. Right now is this really interesting linked open data movement, and I think that will form a sort of a substrate under which lots of semantic web projects will then connect. So I'd encourage people who have data to put it out there as linked data. It's fun, it means that other people will be able to use it. Then going into the future, I think the way the linked open data movement will go is that government departments, for example, or companies who have information about their products or about the state of the roads or the buses, they will find it easier just to give us the data now, raw data now. People are asking, give us the raw data now. Because when they give us the raw data, then people, students, all kinds of websites will use that data to do great things. And the government department won't have to do it. The company that sells the product won't even have to make the advertising material, because other people will build catalogs out of their product. Well, I normally, because there are so many exciting things on the web, I don't pick favorites. So, yeah, I think Twitter is interesting. I think a lot of things are interesting out there on the web. And always when you find something which seems to be the hottest, latest thing, there is always a hottest, latest thing, next thing around the corner. I think people on the web, humanity connected, is at the moment going through a big, asking itself really important questions about how much information a person should make public. And I don't know, it's possible that our standards will change over the next few years. But I think one important change which we have to make in the technology is that it's possible to put information out there and give users a lot of control over saying what this information should be used for, by whom. In the future, it will be very easy to get information, but we must have understanding that if somebody does not want this information used for a given purpose, then it shouldn't be used. So, for example, if you put some information out there for your friends, your employer when you go to an interview for a job. At the moment, in some countries, you're not allowed to distinguish on whether they're male or female, maybe not allowed to distinguish on whether they're married or not. In the future, maybe you won't be allowed to distinguish on what they put in their private blog to their friends, because it will be culturally inappropriate. So that's one way I can imagine things going. But I think it's some really interesting questions about web science, about how people interact in that sort of area about privacy. That's all the questions. Thank you very much for their very good questions. It's great for me to see that you have a press in Brazil who are asking all these really good questions. Keep asking them.